Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we're setting off on a truly incredible journey into one of the most fascinating biological mysteries on the entire planet. Today, we are looking at the secrets of the ageless underground mammal. Get ready, because what we're going to explore today challenges absolutely everything we think we know about cellular biology, longevity, and the fundamental rules of growing older.
So I want you to start by picturing something with me. Slow down for just a second and imagine celebrating your 10th birthday. Think back to that boundless metabolic energy you had, the rapid cellular turnover, and just the way time felt when your body was in its absolute peak phase of development.
Then, well, the years pass. Imagine celebrating your 20th birthday. You're maturing, you're growing, and time is steadily marching on, inevitably leaving its natural marks on your biology.
And then, imagine hitting your 30th birthday. The decades are actively passing by at this point. But here is the massive catch. Imagine that despite all those years literally flying off the calendar, your physical form, your cardiovascular system, and your cellular makeup still behave exactly as if they were young. Absolutely no biological slowing down, no metabolic decline, and basically zero physical signs of aging whatsoever.
It leads us to a massive, mind-bending biological question. What if your body just never aged? I mean, it sounds exactly like the plot of a sci-fi movie, right? But the crazy thing is, this isn't science fiction at all. This is a very real, scientifically documented biological reality for one specific, absolutely incredible creature right here on Earth.
Section 1. The mammal that never ages. Meet the naked mole rat.
Section 2. Defying the normal lifespan, a biological anomaly.
Okay, let's dive into this. You see, in the mammalian kingdom, there's a widely accepted rule that correlates body mass with lifespan. Generally speaking, small mammals with fast heart rates and rapid metabolisms, they burn out quickly. Standard operating procedure for a typical rodent of this size, weighing around, 30 to 35 grams, is a maximum lifespan of about 2.5 to 3 years tops. That's just how the biological clock is wired for a normal mouse. But the naked mole rat completely shatters this paradigm. Despite being the exact same size as a common mouse, this completely bizarre subterranean rodent can live for more than 40 years. I mean, let that sink in for a second. A 40-year-old rodent. It fundamentally violates what scientists call the Gompertz law of mortality, which basically dictates that a mammal's risk of death should exponentially increase as it gets older. For this creature, that risk just remains completely flat. And living over 10 times longer than its normal rodent relatives isn't just about stubbornly surviving or clinging to life. For the vast majority of those 40-plus years, the naked mole rat shows absolutely no measurable decline in its physiological function. It operates flawlessly. When biologists actually examine an old naked mole rat, they find that its bone density remains virtually identical to that of a juvenile. Its cardiovascular health stays pristine, showing literally none of the arterial stiffening that plagues other aging mammals. Even more incredibly, female naked mole rats remain highly fertile and can just continue reproducing well into their 30s without any drop in litter size or offspring viability. There's no menopause, they don't lose muscle mass, and their neurobiology remains razor sharp. They basically live out their incredibly long lives in a state of extended youth, right up until the very end.
Section 3. Cellular quality control. Inside the biological clues.
Now, what's really interesting here is how this builds an unbelievable defense mechanism for the animal. Scientists have uncovered a massive piece of the puzzle regarding how they actually pull this off. It all comes down to a highly evolved, supercharged cellular quality control process. Over time, normal mammalian cells undergo oxidative stress, which causes vital proteins to misfold. In humans and mice, these damaged proteins clump together, creating this cellular waste that ultimately leads to aging and diseases like Alzheimer's. But step 1 for the naked mole rat is rapid protein repair. They have this exceptionally robust network of molecular chaperones, proteins whose entire job is to instantly refold damaged proteins the moment stress occurs. In step 2, clearing away what can't be fixed before it ever has a chance to build up. Their cells feature highly active proteasomes, which act like microscopic cellular recycling centers, relentlessly shredding and clearing out metabolic garbage. This powerful, non-stop quality control system acts as an invincible biological shield, protecting their tissues from the exact kinds of microscopic damage that normally accumulate and cause the rest of us to physically age. And because of this supercharged cellular cleanup crew, damaged cells simply don't have the opportunity to stick around, mutate, and multiply. This translates into a near total resistance to many forms of cancer, which is a staggering biological defense mechanism. It is almost unheard of to find a naturally occurring tumor in a naked mole rat. Beyond just cleaning up waste, researchers discovered these animals have an extremely sensitive, early warning system known as early contact inhibition. Basically, whenever their cells start getting slightly too crowded, which is a classic hallmark of early tumor growth, they immediately stop dividing. This is largely mediated by a thick, heavy sugar molecule they produce in massive quantities called high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. It essentially traps cells in a dense extracellular matrix, creating a literal physical barrier that prevents cancer cells from ever forming masses. Their biology has evolved multiple redundant failsafes that simply refuse to let tumors grow.
Section 4. The future of human aging. Why this matters to you.
So the crucial point is understanding exactly how all of this translates into human medicine. We aren't just studying these subterranean animals because there's some cool evolutionary oddity. We're studying them because they might directly hold the keys to transforming human health. Researchers deeply believe that mapping the naked mole rat's unique metabolic pathways could reveal entirely new strategies for treating severe age-related diseases. By understanding how they perfectly maintain protein folding, scientists are actively looking for ways to upregulate those exact same quality control mechanisms in human neurons, which could theoretically halt or even reverse neurodegenerative conditions like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. On top of that, by studying their hyaluronic acid and contact inhibition, oncologists are searching for brand new targeted therapies that could trigger that same cancer-proof response in human tissue. Laboratories all around the world are intensely decoding this genome today, hoping that the exact mechanisms keeping the mole rat youthful might one day be synthesized to help humans extend our own health span, allowing us to stay healthier, more active, and disease-free for much, much longer.
I want to slow down for just a second here. Consider this quote: "Sometimes the biggest breakthrough in human aging isn't hidden in a futuristic laboratory. It's buried beneath the ground, inside one of nature's strangest little mammals." It's a beautiful philosophical irony, isn't it? The most profound answers to human longevity and disease resistance aren't necessarily found in shiny test tubes. They're buried deep in the dirt, evolving quietly for millions of years.
Which brings us to our final provocative question for this explainer. What other medical miracles are waiting to be uncovered in nature's strangest creatures? If a tiny, wrinkled underground rodent can completely rewrite the rules of biological aging and actively resist cancer, just imagine what else is out there, right beneath our feet, where curiosity evolves. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.